Greetings and salutations, one and all. I greet you humbly from London, UK. I am not a politician. I am not anybody of any significant importance, but I am a human being on the planet concerned about the welfare of my people. So, with that in mind, I come to you to share some of the things on my mind at this present moment. The date today is Wednesday, the 15th of April, 2020. Okay, we are all in the know, or should be in the know at this point in time, of what state the planet is in and what state humanity is in. There are lots of videos and bits of information flying across the virtual streets. Some new, some old. But basically regarding the welfare of Africans worldwide. Dr. Arikana Chihombori Kweo, I do hope I have pronounced your name correctly, and if I haven't, I apologize. I thank you so much for your message. Your messages, actually, not just one, but the one in particular that I speak of is regarding the treatment of our African brothers and sisters in China. Them being terminated from their homes and hotels and different various places of abode. I applaud you. And I thank you for all of your wisdom you have shared with us over the years and the work that you continue to do. I applaud you, I salute you, and I thank you. Yes, I don't live in Africa. I'm in England. I am third generation in England. My grandmother came here during the Windrush era. Rest in peace, Nanny. And I am concerned. I have always been concerned. Whether I live in the continent of Africa or not is besides the point. I would like to share my vision, or my, what you want to call it, my thoughts with you on this matter. This message is mainly to the leaders in Africa right now, today. Yeah? Like I say, I'm not a politician. If I had your phone number, I would call you personally and discuss it with you. Or I would email you. I would phone you. I would, poke you on Facebook and them thing there. But I don't. So this is how I come to you. It will get to you. I am asking for the African leaders, please, at this time. Aunties and uncles. Yes, from the descendant of a slave baby. I implore you. I've always wanted and dreamed. I visited Africa, and it is my dream to be able to live there one day, and not in the far future, the close future. Actually, before this COVID-19 hit us, I was already started selling my belongings and start emptying out my house. Because once I went to Ghana, once I connected with African soil, I knew it the right thing. Not just from then, actually from I was 5 years old and I saw the movie Roots by Alex Haley. From then I knew that I am going home. But yes, once I did actually reach Africa, it just concreted and solidified that long yearning. I am asking you, leaders, humbly, to please consider these words. I make no demands, but I just wish to maybe just open your mind on some certain things you may miss. Or right now, the way Africans are being treated over the world, well, I won't even say right now, because these kinds of things, racism is alive and well, yeah, and is displayed in many different various industries and ways for a long time, but it's been quite subtle, you know. Now the gloves have been taken off. Now the subtlety has been tossed asunder. Yeah, they don't need to hide anything just blatantly. Yeah. Now, who cares about McDonald's, right? Who cares about McDonald's? Oh, if McDonald's in China don't want to let black people in, all right, who gives a toss? But at the same time, that message is going out over the world. And it implies something very dangerous. How could we be the ones responsible for this COVID-19? Was we drinking bat soup? Was we in the laboratories when they was creating this patented COVID-19? Was we there? Was we at the tables and the discussions when they would decided this? Again, propaganda is dangerous. Very dangerous. First it starts off one little whisper from McDonald's, oh, we don't want you here because you're responsible for this disease. And then it spreads, because it's not just China now. You've got other countries in the world getting rid of their African citizens. And when I say African, I need everybody to understand. When I say Africans, I'm not talking about somebody that's necessarily born on the land, on the continent of Africa. I'm talking about people with this hue of skin, or the various hues that we lovely people come in. Your good hair, your eye color, your character, your worth, your value, it means nothing. Whether you're light skin or dark skin, it means nothing. We are African. Whether you was born in the Caribbean islands, whether you was born in Europe, whether you was born, no matter where you was born, from your kin black, that's all they see. So some people who talk, oh, that's not going to affect me. That's not going to affect me. That's not going to, oh, I'm light skinned. I can pop. Yeah, really? Really? Because when police is busting ass on the road and killing people, arresting you for trumped up charges and flinging you in the back of their van, and people end up dead. Plenty people end up dead over the years. Did they care if you was light skinned, if you had good hair like Becky? They didn't give a damn, did they now? Did they care if you had money in your bank account? Did they care that you lived in a good area of town? Did they care that you was a humble, great, devoted servant to your white master at your workplace on the plantation? Did they care about that? No, they don't care about nothing. They care about the fact that you are black. Okay? Let's get that straight. So when I say Africans, this means all of us. Whether you recognize yourself or not, may I talk to you. Right now, just like Dr. Arikana Chimhombori Quayo has demanded basically for our people to be treated decently in Africa. I'm sorry, not in Africa, in China. And also I will now include the other countries like Italy and the United Arab Emirates and all these other people. Yeah? That is the first step. Contact the leaders, send the message. This will not be tolerated. Our citizens in your countries will not continue to receive this treatment. Yes? Fix it now Let them back in their homes. Let them back in their hotel rooms or whatever place of abode they have. Let them live decently, yeah? What you pitching people out on the street for? Let them live. The demand has been made and that's wonderful. But I need all the African leaders to follow suit. Yes, I need all of us to come together now and follow suit and make that demand. I've seen posts. Nowadays, there's so much false information flying about, so you don't know what the hell is real and what is just a poke to get us more emotional and angry. So you have to be careful with these things. But China is denying that that African people are getting treated anyway over there. But we have seen the videos from people's personal phones, from their personal experiences. So whether China wants to actually admit it or not, we know say it's going on. China didn't want to tell us how many people was really affected with the virus, right? And they didn't want to tell us how serious the virus was. From last year, from December, we could have really, or from November, we could have really been getting prepared for this thing if this was not our plan. So I need all our African leaders to follow suit and make those demands, yes? Each African country needs to make that demand known in China and all the other countries. Second, if they continue to deny it and they continue to act like there's nothing going on and that treatment still continues and we continue to get proof and we don't hear back from our brothers and sisters say, you know what, I'm back in my house, you know, or I'm back home now, or they changed the thing now and we're allowed to go about our daily business peacefully and live peacefully. If we don't start hearing those reports, then I would say, I've seen one brother already, it's like we was on the same wavelength, who is willing to use his own personal plane to go and collect our brothers and sisters. Yeah? Because it can't stay like that. It can't just be left up in the air. It can't. We may not be so powerful in certain ways, but the resources that we do have, we need to start using them now. There are a few African airlines. We need to start arranging collectively pick-up points, designated airports that people can go to in China where they can get flown home for free. Because obviously their situation is not maybe that they can pay for tickets and these things. They are being ill-treated. Even finding food right now, a safe place to rest your head at the end of the day. Huh? Can you imagine? Your resources, your money will be diminishing. Yeah? No, so I need us to look into that, yeah? Please, I need us to look into that. This is an emergency. Exodus has begun already, but a slow, gradual little ones. You know, the returnees coming home to different parts of the Gambia, the Ghana, all different, you know, various countries in Africa. People from the diaspora have been going home, slowly but surely. Now is time for mass exodus. This is an emergency. Some of us, you may feel that, okay, we've taken money from these people, or we've made deals with these people, and this is more in regards to, this is serious. We have been infiltrated once again. The so-called interests China has in Africa, the businesses they've been building, the infrastructure, all these different things, yeah? Some of you leaders may have taken monies and made contracts and agreements with them for the future, but this is an emergency now, yeah? The circumstances, the terms and conditions have been shifted dramatically. So, really and truly, certain businesses in Africa that have been erected by Chinese citizens, if our citizens over there have no respect and have no decent living, it is clear to us now, it's been made very clear that the Chinese have no respect for us. They are looking for round 2 of slavery. Looking for round 2 of slavery, and this time they want to profit off us. Well, everybody else uses the black man to get rich, don't they? Media, sports industry, acting, everybody benefits from our ideas, our sweat, our tears. And now they want their turn. They want their turn. And if our leaders don't get serious and start exercising balls, we will see round 2. You might not imagine. You could never imagine. But the number of Chinese in Africa right now with this same attitude, Yeah, I've seen the videos of people getting beaten, Africans getting beaten in Africa by Chinese people. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen it. Ill treatment, murder even, yeah? This is the attitude that they come to us with in our own home. And for some reason, we are tolerating it. Right, signing contracts and taking payments. Agreeing with it. Turning the blind eye to the disrespect daily. Yeah? Chinese businesses in Africa, the ones who have been flouting the rules, disrespecting the land and contaminating the rivers, killing off the cats and dogs and rats and things for go put in a Chinese food and sell you. Run them out. Run them out. Sorry for my tone. Like I said, from 5 years old, I'm 41 now. I've been to Africa. I've felt, I have engrossed my spirit in her, even from over the ocean. And so I apologize if I get a bit too passionate or loud about these things, but I'm also, when I say descendant, earlier I mentioned descendant of a slave baby. Our last generations of our families are coming from Jamaica. So yes, I'm African, also with the influence in our bloodline of Jamaica. So sometimes I just get, yeah? But it's not a bad thing, yeah? Don't take offense, yeah, if I shout sometimes. I will try not to, yeah? All right. The businesses need to be commandeered. And them citizens that have been flouting the rules and beating their African staff, they need to be deported. Post haste. Yeah? Yeah? Don't be so scared in your own country as a leader to make decisions that benefit your people and the future of your country, of the continent. Don't be afraid to exercise your leadership. Like I said, under the current circumstances, all contracts with them should be null and void. Yeah? Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. You're not going to hurt their citizens. You're not going to do the same thing they're doing. You're just going to send them home. We don't have to stoop to their levels, but we do have to protect our future. All the military that he was talking about in letting China bring 300,000 more military? No. Absolutely no. Madness. That would be signing your own death certificate. And that of all the children. There will be no future for Africa if you allow them to come in. Military, 300,000 military with that mindset and guns and bombs and technology that we don't have, that we cannot fight. Chemical warfare, biological warfare. Don't let them in. Please, I implore you. Like I say, if our people in Africa cannot be free to live their lives decently and have their businesses or just go about their regular daily life, no Chinese citizen should be allowed to be in Africa profiting off of our people. and displaying violence and these things to them. No. The idea that more of them are coming, that needs to be shut down. They need to be turned over to the African governments after they have been deported. So the citizens be deported back to China and the businesses be turned over to the African governments, the not corrupt ones, the non-corrupt ones, and then you distribute those jobs and the running of those companies to your African citizens. Don't feel bad. You don't need to feel bad, because when they're sitting at the desk or in the laboratory creating new murders for us, they don't feel bad. So you don't need to feel bad about protecting what is yours. Okay? Right. You've had many ceremonies. You know, every year there are, or sometimes every 4 years in certain parts of Africa, where returnees come home. And, you know, I've seen many, it's beautiful. And in some of these, you know, there's been apologies that we went through certain atrocities. The slave babies, I'm talking, yeah? What is the point of apologizing for past atrocities if you are now going to open the door to let more atrocities happen? When each of you leaders who are agreeing to letting them come in with vaccinations, you're opening the door. You're opening the door. If you have citizens currently in the various countries in Africa that are sick, you heal them yourself with the many great herbs that Jah has provided in that rich continent that everybody else comes and helps themselves to. Yeah? We deal with it ourselves. You don't let in Bill Gates. You don't let in his wife. You don't let in FEMA. You don't let in Homeland Security. You don't let in these scientists. You don't let in Oxfam. You don't let in Red Cross. You don't let them in. It will be the beginning of round 2. You might not believe that you have the power to say no to them, but you do. And trust me, once our Creator sees that you are willing to stand up, He will give the strength. He will open the doors. He will open the windows. Give you the strength and the courage that you need. I'm telling you, all the resources. Yeah, they say, oh, we're going to cut this aid off and we're going to cut that aid off. Your aid has brought nothing but poison to us anyway. So don't be afraid if they say, oh, if you don't agree, we'll cut this off, we'll cut that off. Let them cut it off. Let them cut their death off. Yeah? Don't be scared. Don't open the doors to murderers, drug dealers. When I say drug dealers, I'm talking about the pharmaceutical companies, the legal, quote unquote, drug dealers. Yes? Don't open the door to them, because their only wish is to become our new colonial masters for their new era of slavery. I was worried sometime when I saw that they sending the citizens home, African citizens from other parts of living in the diaspora. Because even in the ones in Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates, they're saying, oh, well, some of them are contaminated with the virus, some of them are not. But you're putting them all in one plane and shipping. So even the ones that was not sick, now they're going to be sick and you're taking them home. What, to spread this thing in Africa now, yeah? Huh? That could be one part of it. Again, because they want round 2 of slaveries is better. They didn't want us in their countries anyway, but they wanted to benefit from us. They wanted us to work in their companies, to be their maids, their slaves, their workers, in various different places. And I'm talking about all the countries. Every single one, including Great Britain. Britain. But now that they have established the idea for the NWO, it would be better for them to control us, easier for them to control us or kill us at mass if we are all gathered in one place. If you want to poison somebody or a group of people or commit genocide, it's better, easier, if you can concentrate them all in one area. Destabilize their mind through chemicals and radioactive frequencies and waves. Destabilize their whole biology with chemicals, poison in the food, chemtrails sprayed in the air, all these things. It would be much easier for them to commit the genocide once they pack us all back in there. That's if we are still living on our knees. But if we are living on our feet, that's a different thing. That's a different thing. We have children, and every one of us that is a parent hopes that our children will have good futures, good life, that they can live uninhibited, that they too may start their family one day with their own partners and, live on. Continue to enjoy the world, continue to contribute to the world, continue to love the world. This is what we hope for our children. However, if we don't really put some protective measures in place ASAP, our children will only have a life to live on their knees. We need to have collective iron fists right now at the borders of Africa. Every single border protection at its highest must be established. People cannot be just coming by and dropping by and doing what they want to do, taking what they want to take, helping themselves. It cannot continue. It must not continue. I know these are things that some of you have thought of already, but now it's time for us to really put these things into action. Now it's time for us to put pen to paper, sit down, discuss, come up with ideas and implement them. It's time, lest we have no future. Yes? It's time to put aside petty differences. Oh, you are that nation, or you're that nation, or you're different, you're this, or you're that, you praise this God, you praise that God, you worship like this, you do that, you eat like that, you do this one. No, it don't matter. It don't matter. Because they're coming for all of us. Whether you eat pork or not, whether you praise Allah or Jesus or not, whether you're light skin or dark skin, they don't care. Whether you're from the north, east, south, west of Africa, they don't care. Oh, you're living in the diaspora. Well, I speak very well. I speak very good English. And, I've contributed much money to the places that I work and live in. And, I'm a good citizen. I live in a good neighborhood. They don't care. They're coming for all of us. We haven't yet recovered from the first Atlantic slave trade. The continent has never fully recovered and got back on its feet. We cannot afford to open the doors wide again. We cannot. We've had so many leaders: Kwame Nkrumah, Patrice Lumumba, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. Oh, many people that fought and died for the protection to send the message, to waken up the minds, to spark and ignite fire in you so that you don't treat yourself like a second-class citizen, so that you don't allow people to take advantage of you and your people. Many people have been spreading these messages over the centuries. And yet, look at what's happening now. Look where we are heading. Huh? There are many lawsuits going on right now. Certain places in Europe or America deciding to sue China for withholding information about the virus, its dangerousness, and also preventing people from getting to find out how many people actually was dying from this thing in their country, which would have been a good indication of how serious the other countries needed to take this thing so they could protect their citizens. So there are these lawsuits being prepared. I suggest that the African leaders do no different. You can take them to court as well. You can take them to court. Number one, we're talking about, you see, the situation in China with our citizens being, hey, this eyelash is getting on my nerves. I'm sorry. Hey, the situation in China with our citizens getting pitched out onto the streets, that one right there, that is enough. That is enough to begin proceedings for a lawsuit. When you insinuate something about somebody without any proof, without any backup, and we can clearly see that it's based very much on blatant racism, very blatant racism, that's enough for a court case. Citizens who've been paying their rent and been paying their hotel fees, and so why give them back their money? If they can't live there, give them back their money. That's enough. That's defamation of character. You are trying to tell the world to spread this message that we are the fault for this for this virus. Take them to court. Yes? Don't be afraid. You've got balls. Exercise them now. Exercise them. You can do it. Like I mentioned before, United Arab Emirates, Djibouti, Saudi Arabia, they are sending home in masses their Ethiopian workers that have been working there for time. Like I said, mixing them up with the virus on these little cargo planes. Yeah, that's not even a decent plane. That's not even 4 people. Treating them like cattle. Yeah? Tell me if this is not... Hey, anyway. What is the plan?